when people hear that I'm a coach, their first instinct is that I'm gonna really motivate you. I'm gonna inspire you to take this great action in your life, to really reach those goals and just crush it. But that's not really what I do. I consider myself a professional listener. You see, most of my clients come to me and they think it's because of one reason. And after listening to them, I realized that they needed something completely different. You see, hearing is very different than listening. When we hear something, we're very much in our own world. The information just comes into us, and we perceive it through the lens of whatever we have going on. But listening is redemptive. Listening is healing. When we listen to another person, when I listen to my clients, what I do is create a safe space in which they could be heard, in which they feel seen. And for a lot of people, this might not be a place in which you have that. When a client of mine sits with me and I listen to her, it gives her an opportunity to unburden herself of so many things that she was carrying in her heart that she might not even have been aware of. And that's what happens to a lot of people. I had one client who came to me shortly before her 40th birthday, and she said to me, I'm getting my master's in psychology, I'm opening up my own practice, and I just want to crush it before I turn 40. I sat with her and I'm like, wonderful, let's do it. What she really needed was healing in her relationship with her family and with her brother. You see, a lot of us go through life really unaware of what our needs are. And when you do that, that's where you let resentment come in, because you have no boundaries, because you're not in touch with yourself. When I work with clients, I have them do mindset work. I have them pray. I have them exercise. Because what that does is gets you in touch with who you are and what you want. So our work together has more to do with clarity than anything else. So for this client of mine that had to go back and face her relationships, there was going to be conflict. And for a lot of us, especially if you grew up Hispanic, conflict can be a 4-letter word, because we're taught to be obedient and just go with the flow and not cause any controversy. But conflict is actually the gateway to deeper intimacy. And Acts 15 is so beautiful, because here in the Council of Jerusalem, we got to see how the early church, so instructed and so close by the Holy Spirit, got to handle conflict. Because conflict is going to arise whenever there are humans present. So we're looking at a topic that was so deep for them, circumcision. It was so deeply ingrained in their culture as Jews. So we're looking at a topic that was very heated on both sides. And here's what stuck out to me as I read Acts 15. Right away, they were welcomed. Paul and Barnabas went up to Jerusalem to meet with Peter and the rest, and they were welcomed. How many times do we deal with conflict and we're like, I have to go talk to that person, but I really don't want to? And you feel the hesitation and the weight of that conversation before it even happens. Number 2, they acknowledged the primacy of Peter, the vicar of Christ. And we already know that God was working in Peter through Acts 10, when Peter went to visit Cornelius, and God was creating a change of heart in Peter on a situation that he might have sided with the Pharisees before. And thirdly, they listened to one another. And the decision that they made wasn't what was best for each person, but what was best for the entire church. We're reading this passage during a time in which we are so decisive. There's things happening in the world where both sides feel very strongly and yet we're all opposed. We had a situation in the Council of Jerusalem that could have ended in the same way, of people divided over a complicated issue. The church today feels that way, with divisions within our own church, which is what we're talking about in the Synod in Rome. You might be sitting here with divisions in your own family, in your place of work, in friendships, here at your parish. The question is, are we more committed to being heard, coming from a place of hurt and being proven right? Or are we more committed to Christ's truth and the commandment to love one another? We're called to listen. We are called to seek Christ's truth. And we are called to allow the Holy Spirit to work through that. In ending my reflection, I want to leave you with 3 questions. What is my heart position when encountering someone else? Am I being welcoming of their perspective? Number 2, am I listening to defend my point, or am I listening to understand the other person? And this requires you to strip away whatever you're holding on to, because you have to ask yourself, is my perspective aligned with Christ and his church? Number 3, where in your life can you bring more unity in your parish, family, friends, school, place of work, by becoming a better listener?